Well, I'm here in the barn, and I don't know if you can hear it on the roof, but it's raining, and so kind of moved inside to do a few chores. And but one of the things I wanted to talk about today is the kind of twine we use in our baler for making square bales of hay. And so I've got right here some sisal, some people call it sisal twine, and this twine is biodegradable. It's a natural fiber, and we used this stuff for years. It's made in Brazil, and everybody used to use this twine. And this twine. It's 9,000. I'm not sure what the knot strength on it is, but typically you'll see 9,130, 9,170. The 130, 170 is the knot strength. And this worked great in our New Holland baler. It worked great in our John Deere 348 baler. And then at some point, Brazilian twine, New Holland, different brands of baling twine. I get the impression that it all comes from Brazil, and that you hear all kinds of things, labor unrest, factory burned down. The bottom line is the 9,000 twine became very inconsistent, and we would be baling along, and we'd have one side of the twine break on the bale, and we'd have to stop and clean it, clear all that out, and rethread it. And if it takes, let's just say it takes 15 minutes to clear the bale, to figure out what you got, clear the bale, scatter the broken bale out, rethread the baler, get it going again, stop and check. Well, if that happens 4 times, and it did with us, it would, you've lost an hour of baling time, and you only may have 2 or 3 hours in the evening before the dew comes. And so at some point the 9,000 twine became untenable due to breakage, and it was just inconsistent. And I will say this, I don't know who super tough twine is. We had the best luck with this, and we had good luck with New Holland twine, but even this has its some issues, and the New Holland twine became so expensive, and I'm not even sure they make a New Holland twine anymore. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. I don't remember. But so we had to do something. The 9,000 twine wasn't working. So we moved to what's called 7,200 twine. And 7,200 is a little thicker. Right here's a piece of 9,000 twine. And here's a piece of 7,200 twine. And maybe you can see the difference in diameter, but there is a difference. And before I get going too far, the 7,200 is the amount of feet in a bale of twine, and a bale of twine is 2 balls of twine. So 9,000 twine to be 4,500 feet on this one, and 4,500 feet on this one. Well, this is 7,200 twine. We moved to 7,200 twine because of its increased thickness, in hopes that the breakage that we were getting with the 9,000 twine would go away. And this is what people would use in a kicker application. And so we tried the 7,200 twine, and it was, the stuff we were getting was even worse than the 9,000. And so we came to a point, we were at the end of the year, and we had some second cutting hay, and I thought, well, you know what, we need to try some plastic twine. So before I go too far, we we try to make hay for horses. We try to make really good quality hay. And those of you that watch this channel, you know what I'm talking about. And I used to write in my day job as an engineer. I used to work for a defense contractor, and sometimes I would be called upon, from a technical standpoint, to write a proposal and responses to a government solicitation for, in our case, it was military generators and air conditioners. And in the technique that we would use to ding our competition without mentioning any names is we would try to plant doubt in the reader's mind of what we were writing, so that when they read the competition's proposals, they might say, I don't know, this, we just try to throw a little question mark in there. And so when I was, when I sell this hay to the horse customers, they're very keen on the quality of the hay and the attributes of the hay. They're not the ones that are willing to pay the price that we charge are typically very knowledgeable about their hay, and they're not feed them what's on sale customers. And so the more we can do to convince them that this is the hay to buy, the more hay we're going to sell. So, for example, we might say, our bales have more flakes than most people's bales, and they do because we don't make a bale of hay with a flake 5 or 6 inches big and pound them out as fast as we can. We really do try to make a bale with a lot of flakes, usually about 2 inches, 2 to 3 inches, and it makes it easier to feed. It makes it easier to break the bale apart. The customers like it, and when we tell them that, amongst a host of other things, including forage testing and things like that, it just makes it easier to sell a bale of hay. Well, when it came to twine, we liked the sisal twine because it's biodegradable. And this evil plastic twine right here, presumably it'll last 10,000 years, maybe 1,000,000 years, I don't know. And so when we talk about our hay, just like in the responses to the government solicitations, we ghost our competition. We say things like we have really small flakes of hay, and the customers, they like that. But if they see somebody else's bale with these big, thick flakes of hay, we've got it in their mind that this is better. And I think it is. But we also wanted to plant the notion that, and I thought it was valid, and it probably is, that biodegradable twine is much better than this evil plastic twine, which is probably made out of crude oil, which is a bad word nowadays, fossil fuels. So, but we got to a place where the 7200 was breaking, and it was worse than the 9000, as I mentioned before, and we had to do something. We had to make a change. So I baled up some second cutting with plastic twine, and then I went to my customers, which I do quite frequently, and I got a couple of them that they're like advisors to me, for lack of a better word. And I said, what do you think about this plastic twine? Does that cause you some heartburn? I know this stuff is biodegradable, but I mean, what do you think about plastic? And the response, 100% of the response, at least with my customers, was, we could care less about the twine. We want the bale to hold together. And that's all I needed to hear. So I went on the internet and looked at forums, and I asked a few questions, and I read and read and read like I was studying for an exam, because I wanted some really good twine, and what I settled on is what's called 96 210. 9,600 feet of twine. There's 4,800 per ball, 9,600 feet in the bale of twine. The knot strength is 210. So when you go to somewhere like Rural King or when you go to somewhere like Rural King or Tractor Supply, you'll see 130 strength knot twine, and you might see some 170. Maybe you will, and maybe they're fine. But what we want is zero breakage, and so when we went to this twine, we were ready to start using the kicker, and so I wanted a stronger twine. So I wouldn't have chosen 130. I'd have chosen 170. And then reading and talking to different people about it, the difference in price between 170 knot strength and 210 is not that much. It's in my opinion, it's insignificant. So we decided to go out of the gate, if we're going to go to plastic twine, with this 9600 210 twine. And it's not as easy to get. I was able to buy it locally for a number of years, and what it was is the couple of stores that had it, they basically had several skids of it, and I'm not so sure that I wasn't the only one buying it. And then when it was gone, it was gone. And so this year I had to order the twine on the internet and have it sent in to me. But the thing about this twine, this 9600 210, is it does not break. And with plastic twine, I don't think that you have issues with the quality of the twine, you know, along the length. Where you run into issues is at the knot. And that's really where you should run into issues with any twine if it's going to break. It should be at the knot. So the higher the knot strength, the more likely that knot is not going to break. And I'll tell you, this stuff right here does not break. If a bale comes apart, there's two reasons. One of them is, when I tied this ball of twine to the next one in line, I didn't get a very good knot. The second one is the knotter is out of adjustment, and I've had that happen. And so we can literally go a whole season and not have any twine breakage. I'm talking about in here or at the knot. It is unbelievable how good this twine is. And so we've been using this now for a number of years, and we're very confident with it. You know, we go out and we bale, and you know, really the last thing on my mind is the quality of the twine, because it's really excellent. And as an added bonus, it's almost half as much in price as sisal twine. It may not be half now, but it's significantly lower cost, plastic twine is. So if there's a downside to using plastic twine, poly twine, or whatever you want to call it, is you need to be real careful not to let this stuff get on the ground, because it does and can wrap around the mower spindle. We do not want it to get on the turtles on this Krone mower conditioner. So we're very careful about twine, you know, falling out on the ground. The other thing you need to be careful with this twine is you really want a sharp knife on your knotters, because this stuff is really tough. And I think, you know, you want to, you know, I don't think a knife on a knotter is just going to muscle its way through this twine if it's not really, really sharp. But I highly recommend this 9600 210 twine. The brand I've got here is called Bale Cord. This is the only kind I've been able to find, and it's been excellent twine. And so that's the video. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm getting ready to load a bunch of that stuff in the John Deere 348, and we're getting closer and closer to haying. But while I had the stuff out, I wanted to just kind of share what it is we use and why. So hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll talk to you later.